Right now, more Americans are having their cars repossessed than during the peak of the 2008 financial crisis. Not close to it, actually higher. If that sentence surprises you, it should, because you have probably heard endlessly about how the economy is recovering, while this specific number has been quietly climbing in the background, and almost nobody is connecting it to the real reason it is happening, the price of a car itself. It fundamentally broke a few years ago, and most people are still making payments based on math that stopped making sense. Let's start with the number that explains everything else. In 2019, the average new car in America cost around $38,000. By 2024, that average climbed past $48,000. That is roughly a 26% increase in just 5 years, dramatically outpacing overall inflation during the same period, and dramatically outpacing wage growth for the vast majority of American workers. Used car prices spiked even harder in relative terms, jumping over 30% during the peak of the shortage years, meaning even the affordable backup option got dramatically less affordable at exactly the same time. Here is what actually caused that spike. And it genuinely started with a global supply chain problem. Most people have already forgotten the specifics of. During the pandemic, automakers slashed orders for semiconductor chips, the tiny computer components that modern cars absolutely require by the dozens, assuming demand would collapse. Demand did not collapse. It surged, while chip factories were simultaneously shut down or running at reduced capacity. This created a genuine global shortage, and automakers, unable to get enough chips, dramatically cut vehicle production. Dealer lots that used to be packed with inventory sat nearly empty. Standard economics took over from there: less supply, same or higher demand, prices climb. Normally, that kind of shock would fade as production recovered, and chip production has recovered. But car prices have not fully come back down, and this is the part that reveals something more permanent happened underneath the temporary shortage. Automakers, dealers, and lenders discovered something during those shortage years that changed their behavior going forward. Customers would pay significantly more than they used to, especially if the monthly payment could be stretched out long enough to look manageable. Once that discovery was made, there was very little incentive to fully return to the old pricing and old loan structures, even after supply normalized. This is where the second half of this story becomes the actually dangerous part, because it is not really a story about sticker prices anymore. It is a story about how those higher prices got financed. The average auto loan term in America has stretched dramatically longer than it used to be. Loans of 72 months, 6 full years, are now extremely common, and loans stretching to 84 months, 7 years, have become a normal offering rather than a rare exception. On the surface, this looks like a reasonable solution to a real problem. If the car costs more, stretch the payments out longer, and the monthly number stays manageable. The math underneath that logic, though, is considerably darker than it appears. Here is exactly why. A longer loan term means you are paying interest for a much longer period, on a much larger principal balance, which means the total interest paid over the life of the loan increases dramatically, even if the interest rate itself stays identical. But the more serious problem is what happens to the actual value of the car versus what you still owe on it, a situation lenders and researchers call being underwater or having negative equity. Cars lose value quickly, especially in the first few years, often losing 20% or more of their value within the first 12 months alone. A 72 or 84-month loan means you are paying down the loan balance slower than the car is losing value, for a much longer stretch of time, meaning for years, you could genuinely owe more on the car than it is even worth if you tried to sell it. Data from Edmunds, one of the most cited automotive research firms, found that the percentage of car buyers trading in a vehicle while still owing more than it was worth hit record highs in recent years, with the average amount of negative equity on those trade-ins climbing into the thousands of dollars. That negative balance does not just disappear when someone trades in for a new car. It frequently gets rolled directly into the loan for the next vehicle, compounding the problem, meaning someone can end up financing not just their new car, but the unpaid remainder of their old one, stacked on top, restarting the entire cycle from an even deeper hole. Now here is where this connects directly to that repossession number from the beginning. Data from Cox Automotive and other industry trackers has shown auto loan delinquency rates, meaning payments more than 60 days late, climbing to levels not seen since the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. Subprime borrowers, meaning those with lower credit scores who typically face the highest interest rates on these loans in the first place, have been hit hardest, with repossession rates in some track periods actually exceeding the peak levels seen during the Great Recession itself. This is happening during a period the broader economy has largely been described as stable, which is exactly what makes it such an important signal. This is not primarily a story about a broad economic collapse. It is a story about a specific financial product, the modern auto loan, that quietly restructured itself in a way that set up millions of individual buyers to fail, even while headline economic numbers looked fine. Interest rates made this considerably worse on top of everything else. The Federal Reserve's rate hike starting in 2002, aimed at fighting inflation, pushed auto loan interest rates up sharply as well. Someone financing a car in 2001 might have locked in a rate near 4%. That same buyer financing a similar car just 2 years later could easily be facing a rate above 8 or even 9% for the exact same loan structure, meaning the total cost of borrowing roughly doubled on top of the sticker price already having climbed significantly. Higher price, higher rate, longer term, three factors that used to move somewhat independently, all stacked in the same direction at the same time for the exact same generation of car buyers. So what does this actually mean for you, whether you already have a car loan or you are about to take one on? If you currently have a loan longer than 60 months, checking your actual payoff balance against your car's current market value, easily done through free tools from Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds, tells you immediately whether you are underwater right now, information that changes how you should think about trading in or selling that vehicle before you are forced into a repossession situation rather than a planned one. If you are shopping for a car right now, the length of the loan term matters dramatically, more than the monthly payment number dealers will emphasize, because a lower monthly payment stretched over 84 months can genuinely cost thousands more in total interest than a higher monthly payment over 60 months on the exact same vehicle at the exact same price. The uncomfortable truth underneath this entire story is that the auto industry did not just recover from a supply shortage. It found a new equilibrium where higher prices, longer loans, and higher rates all became normalized simultaneously, and millions of buyers signed on to that new equilibrium using the same mental math that used to apply to shorter, cheaper loans, math that quietly stopped working the moment all three of those numbers moved against them at once.